Analytical, pacing the scale, the Milky Way contains roughly 100 billion stars. Statistically, that volume suggests millions of planetary systems with the potential to support life, based on the sheer number of Earth-sized worlds in habitable zones. But the data tells a different story. When we scale those 100 billion stars against our actual findings, the number of detected alien signals sits at absolute zero. This contradiction defines the Fermi Paradox, a galaxy that should be crowded, yet remains completely silent. This gap between probability and reality implies a universal mechanism is keeping the cosmos quiet. One explanation is the Berserker hypothesis, based on the concept of self-replicating von Neumann probes. These autonomous machines would travel between stars, using local resources to build copies of themselves while systematically eradicating any biological life they encounter. Then there is the dark forest theory, which views the universe as a collection of armed, silent civilizations. In this model, every species is a hunter hiding in the brush, terrified that making a sound will attract a predator. This creates a chain of suspicion. Because light speed limits make interstellar communication impossibly slow, you can never verify an alien neighbor's intent in real time. Without a way to build trust, a preemptive strike becomes the only logical defense. If this logic holds, reaching out to the stars is a suicidal error. A single radio transmission would serve as a beacon for a hyperkinetic projectile, resulting in total planetary destruction. The dark forest theory relies on the absolute necessity of concealment. For the hunter analogy to work, every civilization must have the capacity to remain completely hidden from the rest of the galaxy. However, the vacuum of space is highly transparent. It offers no physical cover for a planet or a star system to hide behind. Advancing telescope technology can already detect atmospheric chemical imbalances and industrial heat signatures across vast distances. As sensing tech improves, the noise of an industrial civilization becomes impossible to mask. Because long-term visibility is a physical certainty, hiding is a doomed strategy. If you cannot remain hidden, the incentive to kill everyone who might see you collapses under the sheer scale of the task. We test preemptive strikes using a coordination game matrix. Firing across light years requires immense energy, instantly broadcasting your location to every observer. This creates a free rider problem. Third parties benefit from a rival's destruction while taking zero risk, discovering the attacker's exact, vulnerable position. Interstellar genocide carries existential risks for the aggressor, while providing a free strategic advantage to their silent rivals. This cost-benefit analysis makes a preemptive strike an irrational move for an advanced species. This leads us to the inverted Fermi paradox. If the galaxy were truly filled with predators, a noisy, radio-emitting civilization like ours would have been a prime target long ago. Situate Earth in its true context. At the bottom of a predictable gravity well sits a fragile world leaking radio noise for a century. If the dark forest rules were an absolute law of the cosmos, a kinetic impactor from a nearby star should have already reached us. Our continued survival suggests that the kill or be killed logic is flawed. Some other mechanism is preventing civilizations from acting on their worst impulses. This mechanism is rooted in the Hobbesian trap, where mutual fear leads to aggression even when both parties prefer peace. To escape the trap, you need a data point that offsets the fear. Suppose we detect a living, advanced civilization around a nearby star system. In a universe where everyone is eventually visible, the fact that an advanced neighbor has not already launched a strike indicates they have calculated the same risks we have. Their restraint provides a baseline of evidence that they are not inherently hostile. As both civilizations observe this mutual survival, the chain of suspicion begins to degrade. Paranoia is replaced by the realization that aggression is a losing move for everyone involved. In game theory, this shared realization is a focal point. It is a natural convergence where independent parties arrive at the same strategy because it is the most obvious path to survival. This focal point guides civilizations toward a payoff-dominant equilibrium. They choose peace not necessarily out of altruism, but because it yields the highest mutual reward at the lowest possible risk. The silence of the cosmos points to a stable environment, where the costs of war simply outweigh the benefits of destruction. Peace, it turns out, is the mathematically dominant strategy for survival.